What is up, A team? Welcome back. Awesome, your hope everyone's having an awesome day or not, depending on what, but I hope it's awesome. And yes, we're back at it today to talk more about crypto, to talk more about the markets. As you guys can see, the cryptocurrency market is trying to make a little bit of a comeback, trying to get back over that $3 trillion mark. You can see that the stock market has been obliterated today, coming down pretty hot based off the jobs report that came out. As you guys know, government shutdown happened in September. So obviously October and November's numbers were suppressed and or weren't released on time. And now we're starting to sort of see the ramifications of that. And as you guys can see, the markets have reacted to that. I mean, that's kind of where it's at right now. And so before we jump into it all, before we jump into everything here, because I do got a pretty good layout of, we talked about bear market yesterday. I was reading in the Discord that people said I was a little bit more bearish than I normally am. And again, I think that it's good to be bullish. I'm bullish on the long term of Q1 and Q2 of 2026. However, I do think that we've obviously hit some bear markets here. It hasn't hurt me in any way. It hasn't been a negative bear market for any means. I actually think it's kind of okay. And there's some levels here that we've already hit that I think that we've already hit some lower ends of the bear market, but that's up for discussion. We're all here to just share data, share the news, and talk about some crypto. So before I jump into all that, I want to say what's up to the A team, both on TikTok and on YouTube. What is going on, Tony Punch? Good to see you, buddy. Just Maui's in the house here. Salmon, good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here. Max, Dave's dog Zoe, what's up? William, Pipeline, Seiko. We got DJ Seiko in the house. What's up, my guy? Good to see you, man. Scott, what's going on, buddy? RPM's in the house here. Tim Shea, we got the Mayor Crypto in the house here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you, man. I was hoping I was going to be able to take you out in fantasy football, but I think you guys ended up taking it. So now I'm sitting on the sidelines for playoffs, but it's all good, bro. We got Deb in the house here. What's up, Deb? Good to see Deb. Appreciate you being here. Crypto Keeper Joel, what's up, my guy? Appreciate you. Everyone over on the TikTok side, what's up? If you comment in the actual section of TikTok, I'll say what's up to you. Let's see here, Craig. What's going on, dude? My Ultra Journey. What's up, man? Long time no see. Hope all is well. Hey, we got Dale. What's going on, Dale? All right, who else do we got here? I'm scoring a little bit faster now. Like the Funky Beats. What's going on, man? Trent's in the house. Trent, appreciate all my mods being here today, dude. We got Chameleon. Dude, Chameleon, you change your name, dude? That's weird to see your name like that. Chameleon Ice. Is that normal? I don't know, man. Tobias, what's up, bud? Candy's in the house. Good to see Candy. Paul, what's up, bud? Let's see. Hellbent Trucking, what's up, man? Good to see you. You haven't floated away? Yeah, I'm trying not to float away, dude. I'm trying to stay here, trying to stay lively. Griff, what's up, dude? Craig, Marty. All right, let's jump into it, man. Appreciate you guys all being here. Like I said, appreciate everyone joining in today. We got some things to cover today. Let's actually share the screen here. As you can see right here, the cryptocurrency market is trending actually positive today, although the last hour was down. I'm going to share with you guys. I didn't actually put any of my longs in last night. I passed out last night. I'm going to be honest. Dude, as soon as I got off the stream, I sat down with my daughter for like maybe 45 minutes. And, dude, I was out like a light, dude. And I literally did not wake up until 6:55. Like, not even kidding you, dude. I was out. So yeah, I kind of missed a little bit of the longs last night. I told you guys right around anywhere from 10 to 11 or 10 to midnight was going to be roughly the time. And it looked out that actually played out correctly. I mean, right there, I think XRP got to 185. And so it looks like some people put some longs in last night. So kudos to you guys for getting those in there. Obviously, the markets are kind of reacting right now. We're going to talk about the markets potentially coming back down. And it's based off the 4 hour. The 4 hour went up. It went up too fast, which means that there's going to probably be a little bit of a pullback here. We'll talk more about that and my reasoning behind it. But again, kudos to all you guys that got in on those long positions last night. Fantastic. I missed the opportunity. I passed out, dude. I'll be honest with you. I was out, and I woke up and I was like, gosh, dang it, dude. But it's all good. You miss your opportunities. We'll be back for some more. So you can see right now, Bitcoin's sitting here at 87. So it's climbing up nicely. Ethereum trying to reach back over the 3,000 at 29.2. You can see right here, XRP was down to 184 last night, right around 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, going into about 11. It hit about 184, 185. Now back up to, went all the way up to like 193 today. So sitting around 191 now. Nice little long on that if anyone got in on that. Dogecoin's obviously trying to make a little bit of a bounce back. And then Hedera actually was coming up nicely here in the last 24 hours, up 1.5. This thing dipped down, into the 11s, went up to 12. So again, nice little long last night if you're actually on that. Those tapped out as zeros last night on the daily. So it was a good long in opportunity. I actually should have probably put a long in last night on stream. I said I was going to, and I totally spaced it because they were tapped at zeros. And anyone that did put a long in, came out nicely on it, dude. I gotta admit. So kudos again to you guys, dude. This is a job report. Is this your job or you work as well? This is my job, bro. I don't even count this as a job. This is not a job. I just come here for fun, bro. This has always been fun for me. I've been doing it for the last, I don't know, long time, dude. 7 years, 6, 7 years. I do this for fun, man. This is just I enjoy this. This isn't like I come on here to like make money. I don't come on here to do any of that. I come on here because I enjoy a community of people to talk about crypto. I don't have a ton of people in my life that talk about crypto with me. So I come on here and the A team talks about crypto. That's kind of what it's about here for me. So yeah, this isn't a job, dude. Like people call me a content creator, an influencer. That's not me, dude. I just come here to hang out, talk about crypto, and enjoy it with people who want to talk about crypto. So that's kind of how I look at it. But, teach your own. People can say whatever they want. Stocks fall after delayed job report. As you guys know, the job reports were not the greatest. But, I mean, we had 2 months of basically no data coming out. It just got compounded into 1 month of here's all the data. And so that's kind of what happens. And so you can actually see right now the Dow's down 428 points, which is a lot, right? Getting a little beat up right now. You can see that the S&P 500 is down about 52 and the NASDAQ's about 115 points down. Obviously, because of what we saw here, the U.S. economy added 64,000 jobs in November, below expectations of 50,000. It's above expectation of 50,000. The unemployment rate rose to 4.6%, above expectation of 4.5. It says unemployment in the U.S. is now at its highest level since 2021. Again, we're going into right at the verge of going into the bull market. We are at this lowest, and then we hit the heights of unemployment. And during the bull market, we actually rallied in November and December of 2021 going into 2022. And that was a really, really strong year. So as much as this is like some negative stuff here, we can see that the labor market is weakening here. But I mean, that's just a reason for we should have had actually higher rate cuts. To be honest with you, that's what it should have been. We should have had actually higher rate cuts. So, Jerome Powell definitely probably dropped the ball a little bit with that. But I mean, he didn't have the data either. So it is what it is. I still think they had the data. But this is what I wanted to actually show you guys. As I told you guys before, Timothy Peterson, follow this guy, dude. I think he actually puts in some pretty good charts here. He's the only one out there that's putting seasonality charts together, and I think they're fantastic. I rely heavily on this guy because I think that he actually it makes sense. Like when numbers add up and data is put in front of you, and it's like, okay, I see where this is going. This guy is one of the only ones to do it. So much so that he's actually put out an article with Cointelegraph here. Or I guess I could say Cointelegraph used his stuff here because again, it's actually really legit. So go follow this guy. I use this. You guys see his charts all the time here because it just makes sense here. But you can see that if you take the 2018, 2020, and you compare it to the 2025 bear market seasonality, we are right in an accumulation phase right now. So if you go back to the peak, to the lows of those 2018, 2022 bear markets, we're already there, dude. And it's kind of crazy when you start to look at it like this, because this is actually an accumulation phase if you want to base it off of all the other previous bull runs or bear markets that we've had, or at least the last 2 bear markets. And it's kind of nice to see. I mean, so the question is, have we reached our bottom? I mean, that's the big question is, have we reached the bottom of the cycle, or do we see it going lower? And we might not actually have seen the bottom of the cycle, but we're getting close. Like we are getting close. This is an accumulation, meaning that you might have to DCA it during this accumulation phase. You might buy it today at 87,000. It might go down to 80, and you have to DCA in at 80,000. Like that. That's a common thing you have to do during a bear market or during an accumulation period. But just realize that accumulation periods are the best periods to be in. Like these are the best times to be in is for any accumulation. So it's not a job if you love what you do. Yeah, it's not a job. I come on here for fun, dude. Like that's honestly what this has been. It's always been like that. I come on when I can. I don't come on every day. I take days off. I'm very inconsistent. That's probably been my downfall. Like I've been super inconsistent doing crypto streaming. I try to stay consistent, but my day job is actually I'm a chauffeur. That's my day job. I'm a chauffeur for my kids. So as you guys know, my daughters play soccer. They play club soccer. They play for 2 clubs. Highly demanding, and I'm a professional chauffeur, dude. So that's kind of what I do. I chauffeur my kids around every day. So take them to school, pick them up from school, take them to soccer, watch them play soccer, take them home from soccer. That's my day, dude. That's honestly what I do every day. How was your viewer count this cycle compared to last? Well, this cycle has gone down. I mean, this is why I know, Kev, to be honest with you, dude, every bear market, my viewership goes down, right? So right now, I think I have 285 people or 222 people in here watching right now. And this fluctuates between 200 and 300 people. But during the height of last year, December, January last year, I was having like 1,500 people in here, right? So, And last bear market, same thing. You had roughly 3, 4, 500 people during the bull market in here, and now it's gone down. So I mean, technically with crypto going down and people not that happy with crypto and not that excited, and maybe the attention on crypto is not there, you could see that my numbers have dwindled here on streams. I'm averaging maybe 200, and I'm getting about roughly through a whole stream in an hour. I'm getting about 1,500 views in an hour live streaming. And you got to think same time last year, like literally this time last year, I was having like 1,500 people in a stream, right? It could be anywhere from 7 to 1,500 people in a stream, which was crazy, right? So, that's another reason to say, hey, we might be in a bear market a little bit as well, because, viewer counts down. And when viewer counts down, I mean, that's technically a sign that people are not interested in crypto. So, Austin, you influenced me badly, possibly a bad influence, but hey, nobody's perfect. I appreciate you, guy. Well, I try to be a good influence. So, but I appreciate you guys showing. I appreciate you, guy. And I appreciate that guy is, he's one of the few, I could say probably, just has a different opinion in this chat, and he still shows up, right? I know we all have strong opinions here, and some are conservative, maybe some are more democratic or liberal, but it's good that you keep showing up and don't let people push you out. I think it's all good. That's why America's great, is that you can have opinions, and it's okay to have those opinions. And so I appreciate you, guys, for always showing up, and always, even politically aside, like, it's all good. You know what I mean? I do appreciate that. This is just a joke, but fantasy football is the 21st century. Oh my God, dude, Mr. Wick. I'm not even going to read that out loud, dude. There's someone in here. Handle is the freaking, what are you saying, Tony? Selmo, we got my other Selmo. Selmo, what's up, buddy? Appreciate you being here, man. If Ripple is a bank, why isn't XRP pumping? Because RLUSD, dude. RLUSD is going to be the beholder of it. As you guys can see, the Genius Act just came out. The SEC actually just came forward to approve the stablecoin, right? So the Genius Act, and being able to put together the framework to allow people to issue stablecoins, huge, dude. We'll talk about that here in the stream, but it's going to be huge. Japan raising rates. Yeah, we'll talk about that too, Rob. Let's see here. And Adam, I'll talk with you in Discord about it, dude. What's about that? Glad your audio fix doesn't skip anymore. Okay, hopefully I fixed it, dude. I was trying to. I've been messing. It'll probably skip later down the road, dude. I seem like I can't get my audio straight up on the TikTok side, dude. Professionals get paid, bro. You're a chauffeur. You're just a chauffeur. I'm just a chauffeur, bro. I don't even. Dude, that's great. Yeah, I don't even get paid for it, dude. I wish. You're not a chauffeur. You're just a straight up good dad. I know. I appreciate you guys, dude. But that's why I tell people all the time, right, what do you do for a day job? I'm like, I'm literally a professional chauffeur, dude. That's literally it. I transfer kids from every which way possible. Your streams will get larger as we approach the Cent pre-sale launch, just like that. Dude, speaking of Cent, dude, Cent's killing it right now. Dude, over 2 million raised. Things going crazy right now. So shout out to XCL Mafia, and the Sentinel right now doing phenomenal work. Yeah, couldn't believe it. But this is where I think that we're in a really good phase. I really do believe that. And when I go back and I look at this, it says right here that 89,000 is the new 16,000. And I kind of believe that the 89,000, but again, this is lower, could be the new 16,000. We dipped below 16,000 even during the last bull run. The bear market. I showed this last night on stream. I showed the how we were going down, and I mean, we very well could come down to the 62. I have the 62 marker right here, which is basically the 62,000 is a number it's based off of where we'll go previous bull. If you go back and look, we dipped down to 15.5, which is actually below the original 19,000. We dipped down almost $3,000 below that, and so that's where I have this 60. It's basically the same percentage off of the top of the previous bull. I dropped the same percentage, so 62,000 could actually be. I mean, that could technically be our new low here, but I mean, I'm hoping not. That's kind of like in the next bear market that we have. I think that we hit these levels, but I'm hoping in this cycle, this little bear cycle that we're going through here, that we don't go below this 81,000, which is where we hit. So people saying that, 89,000, 87,000, this 81,000 is kind of like our new 16,000 of this next level. I kind of believe that we're in there. And there's some charts out here showing that we are in a completely different cycle. I know I keep saying that, dude, but the data is showing that we are. Even Fidelity coming out saying that we're no longer in a 4-year cycle. We're actually in a bear cycle, or we're actually in a super cycle, which is what we talked about on here. And again, I'm not here to. I'm just here to show the data. Like, and I have a different belief than other people, and that's just kind of what it is. I don't mind that people have lost interest, gives time to get circulation back into strong hands. I agree, Kev. I think that's a good thing, dude. You say that about RLSD. Is that a bad thing then? No, no, no. I think it's that's just, I don't think that XRP. So originally, you got to think when all this came through, RLUSD was always just kind of a talked about scenario. And then you got to realize like stable coins is a massive moneymaker for a lot of these companies. I mean, Circle is huge, Tether. Everyone wants a stable coin. Like stable coins are like the next big thing out here. And RLUSD came out here. It's actually has done very, very well. And so what I'm saying is that XRP is not, I don't think XRP is going to be the driver behind the institutions. Like the institutions, when you go to use, like when I go transfer like an RWA and I decide I'm going to use Ripple, like I'm like, okay, you know what? I got $100 million and I want to tokenize it and I want to move my real world assets onto the blockchain. I'm going to use Ripple for it. I'm going to put that $100 million is going to go into RLUSD, right? So it's not going to go into XRP. It's not going to go into any of that. But you know, you will pay some fees and things like that in our XRP. And if I want to move it around, I'm going to use XRP. But the basis of it is that RLUSD is actually going to be the ones that's holding the value, right? I mean, that's the value. And then if you want to move anything around the XRP network, you're going to use XRP. Just like Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum is the same thing. The reason when you use Ethereum, if I want to put $100 million into RWAs on Ethereum, I'm moving it into USDT, which is Ethereum based, and then moving it around Ethereum and using Ethereum as the same thing. It's the exact same thing as XRP. So like, that's how I view it. And the more money you put into RWAs, the higher XRP will rise because people will actually move assets around. You're going to have XRP to move assets around. So there's the value in that. I don't think it's a negative thing, but and that's where RLUSD has always stood with me. So that's never changed my mind on how that works. So Brodick, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Tony Punch, someone in here, username is Landon Lane. That's my two sons' real names. Oh, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy, Tony. I didn't know. What's up, Jorge? Good to see you, buddy. 89K being the new 60K. How does that even make sense? It actually doesn't. That's why I said I don't think it makes sense to me, but people are out here suggesting that. I think that I think 62 is probably the 16K for me. Like, and the reason why I say that, and the reason, honestly, the reason why I say it is because if you just do the math on it, that's kind of where it ends up going. Is it going to happen this next cycle? I think Q1, Q2, we're going to rally. I don't think we're going to hit 62 before Q1 and Q2. Like I don't think that, but I do think that we're eventually going to ramp back down. We're going to eventually come back up here to some level, and then we're going to have a pretty big spill due to the oversold of markets. I mean, that's just kind of, there's going to be a massive relief on that. So my family looks at me like I'm because I'm saving money for the long run. That's the way to do it, bro. I'm the same way, dude. A bull market already happened. Here's some data to show. Let's get into some of the data here. I'm going to actually skip a little bit ahead here because I think it's important that we show this. But yes, going back to the Bank of Japan, likely to cut rates. You can see right here, likely to raise rates by 25 basis points. As you guys remember, we were the only ones not raising rates. The entire global market was raising rates left and right, and it was kind of crazy. Is it major banks is telling me that a bear cycle? We're in a bear cycle. I think we're in a bear cycle for sure. I think the bear cycle has suggested we hit a death cross about a week ago. And that kind of solidified that we're potentially in a little bit of a bear market. Doesn't mean that just because we're in a bear market doesn't mean you can't be bullish. Like I want to honestly put that aside. Like you can still be bullish in a bear market. And again, I think it's a lot easier to say that. And I've said this before. It's easier to say that when you're still up significantly on your investments. It's hard to say that when you're down significantly on your investments. And so like I get that some people come into the stream, they're probably down on their investments. They, maybe they put 100,000 in and they're down, 30,000. So they're at 70,000. They still, they're going, crap, when's that going to come back? So like, that's a hard pill to swallow. We've all been there. It's a hard thing to get through, but eventually we will get through it. So that does feel bearish because you have all this weight of like, hey, I'm $30,000 in the hole. That feels like that's a bear. But, some people, that have worked through these cycles before, and you're positive on this, and this is just like a blip in the market for you. Like you could still be bullish. And that's kind of where I come from. Like that's where, so people come in here and they get all mad at me for being bullish, but it's like, I'm not bearish. Like, I guess overall, like I'm looking at, 6 months down the road type of deal, maybe 8 months down the road. And that's kind of where I've been, seeing things before. I mean, we talk about this all the time on the channel. And so it's easy for me to sit here and be positive knowing that I'm up, I'm up decently in my investments. Like it's easy to be like that. So I just want to preface that that's where I come from. And so, I get people come up here and they get upset at me for that, but that's just kind of where I am, and, but so you can be bullish in a bearish market. It's okay to be that. And that's kind of where I'm at. But you can see, yes, the last 3 times that we've had the Bank of Japan, which again, Bank of Japan's like, it's not that big of it's Bank of Japan. Like, if this was like a US bank here, I could see us having a bigger issue. But I mean, it's Bank of Japan. Yes, they have a decent amount of the global economy, but it's not the biggest. But you can see, yes, I mean, based off previous data, we have gone down a decent amount when it comes to them cutting, actually raising rates here. And the last 3 times we're bearish for Bitcoin. A repeat would take us to the 65 to 75K. I don't know if we're going to go that far. We've already dipped pretty damn far. But you can't ignore it. You can't ignore what can happen here on Friday. Fridays have been a dismal day for the cryptocurrency markets and for just markets in general. Having the Bank of Japan do this on a Friday could also cause some downturn or some turmoil in the markets. So, like, let's be honest about that. And we can see here on the charting that that's consistently over the years. That's what's happened. But I mean, this is dating back to 2024. It's not like going back all the years. It's not like every time this happens, Bitcoin. This is just the last 3 times. And so I do want to put that out here. But this is where it gets kind of crazy, because if you actually look at this with the Metcalfe laws of Bitcoin, you can see that every time we come down and we hit this level here, which is basically just a curve here of price trends and then where we're actually looking. So basically it takes the lowest price forward of Bitcoin and then we move it on forward. So basically what this is saying is that every time we hit this level, we actually bounce back nicely. And that's kind of what happened here. But we never had our peak in this cycle. Like, if you extend this out throughout this, basically throughout the lifespan of Bitcoin, we never reached our cycle top of this. And it's like we've been prolonged here. And here's another little good diagram of this. Like, here's 2017, here's 2021. Here's this cycle. Like, this entire cycle has been it's been a slow grind to the top. We've reached all-time highs, but it's been a super slow, drawn out. This is like the beginning of a super cycle. This is what a super cycle looks like. If you actually go back and look at the super cycles, in the early 2000s through the Bush administration and then through the Obama administration, those were our last super cycle. And it was a long, drawn out, like, up and down process, but we continued to grind it out and it was a slow climb. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. And, we're at the levels now where we're at 2.9 trillion. We're in this channel now, which you can see this channel was created here. And we actually are just reached the bottom of this channel at 2.9 trillion. So based off this, we should probably bounce back and, eventually climb this up. But I mean, what we're saying is that this could continue to climb up and be a slow grind over and over and over again. And that's kind of what's been the previous cycles have been euphoria, crazy trading, massive dips. To this time, we've just had 30% dips, 34% dips, 37% dips, and then we'll climb back and we'll repeat that process since basically we hit the bear market of this last cycle. And this is obviously the FTX fiasco, Luna Classic, the Ukrainian and Russian war, and then we've had this slow grind process coming back out of it. So this is a very, very similar chart to what we see here, but just kind of broken down into here. And I agree. I think that's kind of what's going on right now. Looking at this, I think it's very logical to look at this and say, yeah, that makes sense. Just put in recurring buys and forget about it. Look, 5 tier. Yeah, I would agree, Fish Plug, that there's a lot of people that just put $5-10 in, every week. You put the recurring buys. I've had people on the A-teamers on here that do that all the time, and they've done well. Are you going live on X at 6? Oh, you're talking about for that? Yeah, that's cool. It's so funny, man, that live stream. I don't even know who the dude is, so it'll be interesting to pop up there and talk with him. I have no idea what he's going to say. But yeah, there is a space here that this dude put together here. Live LFG action. Put together this live for the Exceller, and it's at 4 p.m. my time. So I think right now, there's roughly what? I can't remember. I don't see how many people are actually going to it, but how many people are actually in there. But yeah, definitely go in there, dude. We're gonna go in there and talk about. I'll go in there and talk about as much as I know about Exceller and Sentinel, and I'll push everything possible. You know what I mean? I'm here for the XL Mafia. You guys know that. But yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny. I hit up everyone over on the Exceller side, the XL Mafia side, which is like, hey guys, like, I don't know what this is gonna be about. I don't know who's gonna be in there. Yeah, I think there's like 80 people going so far. So yeah, I'll definitely be in there, man. I'll definitely be in there. How much I talk, I don't know. I'll pop up in there and sort of see where it goes. So we'll see how that works out for sure. But I'll be there, dude. But let me jump back to some of the other things I want to cover here before I jumped ahead of that. So you can see here that we basically what's crazy about this, I think about this just right now, is that Bitcoin institutional holdings reached 5.49 million Bitcoin, accounting for 30% of the circulating supply. I was thinking about this morning when I read this. You think about just like any crypto out there. If someone holds 30% of the value, how much control you have over that. I mean, just think of like a meme coin, or just think of a newly launched project, or just a project in general. If you hold 30% of that supply, imagine how much control you have of that. And so when I think about like what's going on in the cycle and the manipulation and all that stuff that's happening here, a lot of it hedges off of this. I mean, they hold 30% of the circulating supply. They control a lot of what happens here. And it just kind of raises your even more concern about like, yeah, it sucks that institutional investor, or you have the Fidelities, the BlackRocks, all these institutional investors that are coming into the markets, and how much power they actually control. And they control a lot. I tell you guys this all the time. Follow the BlackRocks, follow the Grayscales, like wake up and look at them on our cam, see what they're doing on the day. It'll really give you a good idea of what the markets are going to do here. And just gives me a better perspective that 30% is held by these institutions. So they hold a huge amount. I mean, like I said, imagine a whale holding 30% of the holdings out there. That's a crazy supply. And any whale out there that had 30% of a supply of a crypto or a token or anything like that would have massive sway on which way that token and or market went. It's just, and this is a perfect example of that. And so I thought it's important to share this and give people that I just let you guys know that they'll continue to rule the space. And I'll say it again over and over again. Like, just set Arcam as your favorite. Put BlackRock, Grayscale, Fidelity in there, and just look at them every day, dude. You'll have a good idea of where things are going just based off that. And this is a perfect example of that. So the XTL Mafia going to represent. Hell yeah, dude. That's what it comes down to. HBAR is disappointing right now. It is Andrew B. I'm kind of with you. HBAR's down. And there is no HBAR news. HBAR's down. They'll come back. It always does. I mean, you got to think. I was buying. I mean, we're not that far off. I'm actually down on my HBAR. Because as you guys know, I actually accumulated some of my HBAR during the peaks, right? I was telling you guys I was buying some pretty good amount. I still hold my HBAR. I was buying it at 19 cents. I think I bought it at like 24 cents. And so I think when I accumulated it all, now it's down to where it's at. I actually think my value has gone down slightly. I have to look. I haven't looked. I have to probably open up my ledger here. I'm probably up just a little bit here. My average price before all that was sitting around like the 7 to 8 cents marker. But yeah, HBAR's been a little bit down, unfortunately it's been down. So Cent raised that 2 million. Can't wait for the swarm. I know. I'm with you, Corey. I'm with you, dude. Be greedy and when others are fearful. 100% soul of Jeffy. Let's see here. Our future is looking good. 5 years. I think 5 years is going to be good, dude. I think patience is, I agree. The fish plug. Patience is a key, dude. If you have patience, you'll go far in crypto. If you don't have patience, it's not the space to be in. It just really is not, dude. Cent watch party. Whenever I don't know when they're gonna. I hope they. I'm assuming they're gonna put a countdown down, dude. They count down everything. So I'm assuming we're gonna have a good idea of when Cent's gonna launch, and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. While down 50% from recent highs, I'm still 3x overall for my initial at least. And that's kind of where I'm at, Trent. I think a lot of things. I mean, I'm still up like, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I'm still up 5x on XRP. Like, you can't be disappointed. I mean, that's my third largest bag of crypto. I'm still a 5x up. Like, you can't be upset. But a lot of this has to do with short term. You can see right here, Bitcoin short-term holders are at loss. People keep selling at losses, dude. Right here, since October 30th, BTC has stayed below the 104K short-term holder cost basis, putting recent buyers in realized losses. During this period, short-term holders have also been selling at realized losses. People are selling, dude. Selling at 12 on an average, a 12% loss. They're selling Bitcoin, one of the number one assets in the world. They're selling at a loss because of whatever it might be. And so this is obviously helping fuel this, even though this isn't the leading reason as to why the markets are doing what they're doing. But you can see here that people are selling at losses, and it blows my mind that they do that, because I don't know. I just don't get it. But I mean, also with that is that the price is dropping for Bitcoin because of liquidations. I mean, the spot selling it's not the number one reason is not spot selling. Even though we can go back here and see our short-term holders are definitely down, it's actually due to the leveraging out here. People are putting in way too big of leverages. People are still doing 100x leverages. They're doing 150x, 1000x leverage. Like, look at the liquidation leverage map here. Let's go the heat map here. It's crazy how much money people are putting in these leverages, dude. You got to realize that these right here, this orange right here, that's 100x leveraging, dude. dude, there's 27 million Bitcoin right now at 100x leverage. That's insane to me, dude. On the shorting and even on the longing, dude, look at that. There's roughly about 32 million in 100x leveraging. That blows my mind that people are still putting 100x leverages trying to make a buck. And look at that. Look at the longs right here. It's so crazy. Look at that, dude. This is all 100x leverage right here. All 100x, 100x, 100x. There's no 50x. Now finally you get over here and there's a 50x leverage. But you zoom out on this, dude, and it blows my mind. And you can see that when you start to get in here, how much money is just sitting right here of 100x to 50x. Go put a leverage in of 100x and see how quick it could be to get liquidated. We'll do one right here, dude. Let's do one right here. I'm not going to actually put it in, babe, but let's look at the pricing here, dude. Stop. Okay, let's do a $10,000. We'll put 10,000 in. On I guess I can't do it. I probably got to do it on cross. Let's do it on cross here real quick. Let me go back to cross. I mean, when you start to really realize like what that means, it's insanely stupid. So let's go to, I guess I can only do a 5x, a 500 BTC here. So I guess I can only do 500, but still people are putting I guess it's 100. Let's do 100. Sorry, 100x. You can do 500. That's crazy to me, dude. And we're going to put $10,000 in. And that puts us at roughly, actually, let's do, I got to probably put some money in here. Hold on a second. I got to transfer some money in here real quick. Hold on. Give me transfer some money in here. Let's go from wallet. Let's do confirm. There we go. I just transferred some money. It should be fine. Did I transfer in the right spot? Yeah, where did it go? Did it go to my futures account? Yeah, available balance. Okay, so where's my futures account here? Why was it? I wonder what's not showing up here. That's weird. Oh, there it is. Jeez, come on, BTCC, get up with the times here. All right, so we'll put we're gonna put 100,000. Max long is 10. So I could do roughly. Let's just say I do one BTC, right? One BTC at 100x. Well, my liquidation, my margin on that, well, that's actually not looking too good. Let's do it in BTC. Confirm. I don't want to do it in BTC. Oh my God, dude. Dude, their system is a joke right now. What is going on with their system, dude? Their system has become, what the fuck? Yeah, okay. I want to do it in BTC. Place the value of contract value. God dang. Dude, that was crazy. So my liquid, dude, that was ridiculous. BTCC, you gotta fix that, man. That is ridiculous. So you can see right here. So I put $1,000 and $100,000. I'm gonna put 100x leverage at $100,000. That puts it at my liquidation price is 149 for a max long. If I'm putting a long in, that's actually not that bad. Max long, well, that's not able. It's actually, what is my liquidation price on that? Liquidation is 86. So the estimated liquidation price is 86.51. So 86,511 is liquidation price. Right now we're sitting at 87,006. So about $1,000 difference in price, right? So if this drops $1,000, I lose $1,000. So I mean that's not a very good. I mean, in all reality, that's not that big of a buffer. You know what I mean? Like that's a very small buffer when it comes to it. I mean, you're talking $1,000 difference on top of this, and you're putting together roughly $100,000, almost a little about 1.14 Bitcoin at 100x. But that's what people are doing. They're putting $1,000 in here at 100x leveraging, hoping they're going to catch this. And that's what we're seeing right now. And that's what you're seeing across the board here. And unfortunately, $100 gets liquidated, $1,000 gets liquidated, $10,000 get liquidated. And it's just crazy when you start to do that. I do 100x or nothing at all. That's crazy. But I mean, like people are doing this by, I mean, look at the amount of money here that's just like sitting here on these leverages. You know, people are putting $10,000, 20. I mean, we're seeing it all the time. You know, the guy was liquidated for $57 million. And you're like, how is that possible, dude? I'm down 20% of my portfolio, and it's very depressing to see that. So I completely understand the people selling their bags. Yeah, Tomas, I get it, dude. I 100% get it. It's hard to sit back. I mean, and I'm assuming that this is probably your first cycle. So a lot of people here, this is their first cycle. How much can you make on 100x? Oh, I mean, you can make a ton of money off of 100x leverage, dude. I mean, you're wagering $100,000. You know, at 1,000, if I put this bid in right now, and again, I probably wouldn't do it, but I mean, if you gambled that $1,000, and you're basically getting you're getting $100,000. So you're doing one Bitcoin. If one Bitcoin goes up 10%, you know, you're making $10,000. So you made, you know, you're taking that 1,000. You're making more than that. You're making more than that. But I mean, like, it's that 100x. You can make a lot of money from it. So yeah, I mean, the return on it's insane. You're basically buying a whole Bitcoin for $1,000. Is what it comes down to. And so, you know, if that moves up 10%, you're getting 10%. You know, I mean, it's crazy how much that goes up. Yes, it's my first cycle. Yeah, so that we've all. I mean, if you're in your first cycle, you know, and you're down right now, it's a tough cycle to go through. But your next cycle, dude, if you hold on strong, I can tell you that I can actually promise you this, that if you hold on strong through this cycle, that by your next cycle, you'll understand where I'm coming from when I say that, like, even during this bearish time right now, it's not as bad as it feels, because like you're positive on your bag. I know, like, if you're through your first cycle right now, you're like, dude, screw crypto. I'm down 30% on my bag. You know, like all my stuff is down. I've been there, dude. I felt that. I get it, dude. But if you hold, like, I'm a testament to it. There's a lot of people in here, all my mods, people that have been here for a long time, you know, follow me for the last, you know, several years. We've all been through it, dude, and they can all attest that if you just hold through this, you'll eventually come up and you'll be up tenfold from where you were before. And the next bear cycle you go through, you'll look back and go, dude, I know exactly what Austin was talking about. Like, I'm calm. It's no big deal. I'm not stressing about it. And I know it's easy to say that today, but, you know, we've been there, dude. I've been there 100%. I've been there. What do you think about meme coins? I mean, meme coins are okay. Forever King. I mean, I'm not the biggest meme coin person. You know, I do own Pepe. You know, I bought that a long time ago. It's been still sitting in my wallet. I own Doge, but I don't really consider Doge to be that much of a meme coin. I think that there's some use case with it. So that's just me personally. So, you know, there's some meme coins I'm down with, you know, but I'm not a big pusher of meme coins, to be honest with you. Austin, I own some altcoins and keep going down. Is there any scenario where I actually lose money if I don't sell? Do coins get delisted? Yeah, coins get delisted all the time, dude. It depends on the tokens that you're in. That's why I always say, you know, top 20 cryptos is super important to invest in. Top 30 maybe, and then obviously you're going to take some risks on some other ones. But yeah, I mean, like, look at Helium. I was in Helium Mobile. I bought some Helium Mobile. I think I'm down like $2,500 on Helium Mobile this last year. They got delisted from Coinbase, you know, so you have to move that money out of Coinbase and into a wallet that accepts it. Yeah, they get delisted all the time, dude. Gala was a big one, dude. Coinbase delisted Gala. But yeah, altcoins can go down. I mean, it's super important to stay on top of that. And unfortunately, that's what sucks about it. If people that, you know, buy these cryptos and then they maybe leave for a year, they come back and they go, dude, what happened to like my money? Because some of these things just don't last a long time, dude. That's why I said, you know, stick to the cryptos that are going to be here for a long time. Don't stick to the cryptos that are going to be here for a short time. You know, and a lot of meme coins are here for a short term, not here for a long time. You know, they're here for you're here for a short term fun time, and then they're gone, dude. And trying to find the ones that actually bring real use case and that are going to be here for a while. Those are the ones that you want to actually hold value in. And it's just super important to buy cryptos that are, you know, traded on the decentralized side too. If you can't find a crypto that is traded on the decentralized side and it's only on a centralized side, screw that, dude. Don't ever buy that. Make sure you can actually find a place to off ramp it. So thanks, Austin. I appreciate all the support in the great community. Luckily, I don't need that money now. Yeah. That's good to know, dude. Invest what you're willing to lose. That's a perfect way to say it, dude. It's better to use $100 as your capital and leverage 25% with a 25% margin. Yeah, Helium's still on base. Helium Mobile, Monty. Helium Mobile is what I was saying. Helium Mobile is the one that got delisted. I'm down 22% and just going to hold. Yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, there's no reason to sell the 22%. I mean, you're going to take a tax loss on that. You can only roll over 3% of that loss anyways for your first year. So even if you sold right now, you can only roll over 3% of your loss. So, yeah, I mean, the best thing to do is just chill. Okay. So how much do you lose with 100x? If you did cross, you could lose more than that. I mean, you would lose if I open this long, you know, you're putting your whole thing on the line here. You could lose up to, I mean, you can lose up to your whole bag. You'd have to put a stop loss, Jay. And you're on cross, you're putting your whole, you're putting all your money on the line. If I put $1,000, I'm still putting $5,300 on the line because of the liquidation on that. So yeah, I mean, you're putting a lot. That's why you have to put a stop loss in there and make sure you don't obliterate. That's what people do here is that they'll go and they'll put that $1,000 in here on a 100x cross, and then their stop losses don't get hit, or maybe they um, and or they don't have enough to cover it, so their whole entire balance gets wiped out. And that's what happened during the October 10th, is that people's balances got wiped out because they were doing cross. That's why I don't ever do cross. I do, I'm a risk manager by trade. That's what that's what my previous careers have been in, is risk mitigation. And so I prefer the isolated trades where you're only going to put in what you're willing to lose here. So if I put $1,000 in here, I'm willing to lose $1,000, but you can only leverage up to 75x, which is still a lot. Actually, you could do 125x with Bitcoin on an isolated trade here. So I mean, like, isolation is where you want to go, because you're only putting down what you're willing to lose on this. And that to me, I would rather do that than bet my whole balance against it. Like, I'm not doing that, dude. Helium should have never been created mobile, and running Helium miners again, but payouts is looking to pennies on the dollar. Oh yeah, Helium's been a little rough. Hold on one second. The heat is on. It's getting hot in here, dude. What do you think about? Let's see here. Why would you do cross versus limited, isolated? Oh, because cross, you put your whole balance on the line. Orange crypto. Where isolated, you're only putting. So if I do 1,000 on here, I'm only putting $1,000 on it. Means if I get liquidated, I lose 1,000. On cross, if I put 1,000 on there and it gets liquidated, I'll lose my whole balance. I put my whole balance on the line. That's kind of the difference between them. And so you got to pick your poison, I guess, is what it comes down to. And for me, like I said, risk mitigation's the big thing. So I'd rather mitigate my risk by doing isolated with a little less leverage than that before. But I mean, I only do like 10 to 15x leverage, maybe a 20x leverage here and there. But if I feel really confident, I'll do a 20x leverage. So yeah, your margin capital is how much you're willing to put up to have risk. You can only go so far back before you get liquidated. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Markets seek out stops. Oh yeah, these exchanges. I mean, they seek these things out massively. Like there's no denying that. Also, speaking of this, dude, there is right now. I think you guys can. So right now, between December 5th and December 31st, BTC is giving away $1,000. So $500 split between two winners from the A team. So if you guys are using BTCC and you guys are doing margin trading, whoever has the most volume going through this link right here, you'll have a chance to win. We had 3 winners last time on the A team. I put those in Discord. So the competition is from December 5th through December 31st, $1,000 giveaway. So it depends on how much you get to use. And here's my previous, these are the previous winners here. So it's all based off your user ID numbers. So if this is one of your user ID numbers, they drop it into your wallet and you'll get an extra, $500. So shout out to anyone who did that. I put my link in the thing there if you want to take a look at that one. And then also, going into tracking your trades, this is obviously free for any A-teamer in my Discord here. Just got to go over and create an account. So if you're in Discord, go down to track my trades. It's right below the crypto chat there. It's free for anyone here. Free for anyone that's on the A-team and in my Discord. You'll be able to get in here and you'll be able to use this. This is a basic way to track all your trades. And you'll be able to link your accounts if you have different, like you can connect your exchanges here. BTCC is eventually coming here soon. You can see right here, Gate.io, Bybit, Bing, you got BitNewX, you got KuCoin, Blowfin. BTCC is coming soon here. You can connect your exchanges there, and it actually puts all your trades into trackmytrades.com. You can see your strategies, all this kind of stuff. It's actually pretty cool. Once BTCC actually comes online here, I'll probably start using it. But if you want to actually manually put your trades in, you could do that right now. It's free for you to play around with. It's super cool. Only for people that are in my Discord though. You see Trump doing a national address tomorrow. I did not see that, dude. BTC kills me. I got on demo mode and I'm hitting positive almost every time. But as soon as I put real money in, I get mugged. Damn, bro. All my crypto that's in the red went into cold storage and the safe. Made another deposit and now playing with the new money. Got trapped in HBAR at 13.5, but XRP is still in play. Okay, that's not too bad, dude. 13.5 is not that bad, bro. I think you're in a good spot for HBAR, dude. And we can see that we're coming back here. So I was going to give you guys just a little bit more information on where I was going to go. These are probably going to come down. You can see these 4 hours reached. If you go back and look at XRP here, dude, I was showing this. I was looking over this earlier. If you go back to the 4 hour chart here, look how long it took for the 4 hour. Let me get imagination out of the way here. You can see here on the RSI, we started the climb out on December 10th. We did the climb out here on December 10th, and we peaked out on December on December 13th, we peaked out. That was almost 3 days to get from the bottom of the 4 hour to the top. Yesterday, we went down on Monday. We hit the bottom on Monday around, was it Monday the 15th around almost, dude, like I'll give it around noon. We hit Monday around noon, and we already are hitting the top here on Tuesday, dude. We're not even 24 hours in, and we're already hitting the top up here. And I was like, dude, that's a really fast. Anytime that we move that fast, hitting the bottom to the top of the 4 hour, we do something like this over here. These are our last times where we peaked out the bottom and we went to the top like that. Were these scenarios right here. And every time we've done that, we actually had some massive fall offs here. So this is kind of a red. And again, we did it here too. We bounced up really heavily and then we came down really hot. So, just be cautious of this, knowing that we're going into this week, we're going into Friday. Like every time we rally hard like this and peak out within less than a 24-hour period on the 4 hour, we tend to come down even hotter. So I just want to, I'm kind of like, kind of nervous. I mean, we could come up here and hit this 196 at some point. There's a nice little fair value gap here, but we'll probably come down pretty hot. So again, day chart's actually still working its way down to the bottom. That's why I'm saying this, is because the day chart's still working its way down. It hasn't fully reset. We need it to get down. I mean, a full reset is roughly around the 4. Anything below 4 is a reset for us. You can see across the board here. Anything below 4 is what we want. That's really what you want here. Not saying it has to do it every time, but I mean, it is nice to see when we get down to those levels here. Because even in this one, if we don't fully reset, we actually come up and come down even hotter, right? So we want a full reset so that maybe we find a complete bottom on this one before we take off to the next level. So just something to consider here. Weekly's still down at the bottom here. Day chart's still trying to come down. And then the 12 hours making a little bounce around here. But usually we do, you can see right here, we'll usually come up and come down. We'll come up and come down. We'll probably hit this and come back down again. So I'm just being a little bit cautious of this one before I put my long in. I missed my long opportunity last night. As you guys know, this hit right around 10 o'clock. We hit the bottom of this. So I got off the stream at what? I went from 7:30 to 8:30, and then about an hour and a half later, we hit the bottom on this one at 185. And I said, wait about 2 hours and we'll see where it goes. And you can see this thing actually took off pretty nicely here. So right around 10 to midnight last night, this is when that long should have went in. I should have put that long in, but I was sleeping. I fell asleep, and it kind of is what it is, dude. So how do you get access to the Discord? I'm subscribed. Yeah, you just got to go click in my Discord. I have my link, DJ, in my description box. Click there. Follow the rules on how to get in there, and then once you get in there, you'll be good to go, bro. Yeah, you're already a member, so you should be good, dude. Red or black is 50-50. More like 50% of traders lose. It's actually less. Red or black is actually, it's a less percentage. It's only actually a 40. I think it's a 47% because you got to consider the two zeros that are on the roulette board. So 50-50. It's never 50-50 on a red and black. Your keys, your cryptos. Yeah, you definitely got to think about that. Your keys, your crypto. Austin, don't forget to inbox me about the Pure Wallet. Yeah, I will, dude. I'll hit you up, bro. When Sentinel's launch being around 2 million has put in liquidation, what are you assuming we're open as a multiplier? Good. I don't know, man. It's tough to say. Tough to say, Adam. 30x. You think a 30? You think that Sentinel is going to go 30x? How much BTC do you own? I own a decent amount. I've accumulated over the years, bro. I'm not gonna share bags, dude. You don't share bags. Let's say 1-0. Well, still better odds than trading. It is. I would agree. I mean, hey man, I make good money when I go and play the roulette table. I actually make some decent money, dude. BTC to 89K. I mean, BTC is probably, it's working its way up right now. You can see the 4 hours working its way up top. But again, this is a fast climbing BTC right now, back from the 4 hour. But the 12 hour still at the bottom here. The day chart fully hasn't reset. So as much as this rally is going to come here, this day chart hasn't even came back down to hit the 20%. Usually it comes and hits this 20% before it bounces back. Like eventually you're going to have, there's scenarios where it will come back down and, come back up like this. You'll see this scenario where it comes down halfway and it bounces back up, and that could be in play here. But we were also in a different time, dude. We're back in a bull, we're back in April out of the bottom of at the bottom of the whole tariff discussions, and we bounced back. But that's the last time this actually came down and didn't actually clear before it went back up. But every other time, it's definitely reset itself. And so I'm projecting. I'm counting on it. I want it to reset itself so that I have a clear visual that, hey, this is the bottom. I'm going to actually now, put in a long position on it. So Austin doesn't own BTC. He actually doesn't own any crypto. Yeah, it'd be pretty crazy to talk about crypto and not owning crypto. That'd be a pretty wild thing. uh, that's funny. I love it, dude. Austin, people are gonna lose it if crypto rips. Yeah, and crypto could. I mean, I'm just talking indicators, and crypto could rip. You never know, dude. I mean, it could definitely go up. Um, like I said, I'm just not going to put any longs. That's why it's important to DCA in, hold a long term bag, and I'm talking more about. Sorry, I guess I should probably clarify. Like I'm talking more about like just putting in a leverage or a long. That's kind of where I've been. I mean, obviously, I'm not buying any spot positions at this time. Obviously, my bags have stayed where they're at, and if this pumps, it pumps. I'm winning either way. I kind of look at it like that. So, you pneumatic girlfriend. If Sentinel 30x, I mean, dude, XCL 30x, right? And again, you can't sit there and say that like, Sentinel has a good. I mean, Sentinel. I've always said this before, dude. Any project will do. It'll only do as good as the holders want it to do. So if the community wants Sentinel to 30x, it will 30x. If the community members don't want, if they only want a 10x, it'll 10x. If they don't want it to go up at all, they'll sell right out the gate. Like it's all a matter of how the holders are feeling at the time of which this gets launched, and to see the actual value which is here. What's crazy is that you can see the performance has gone up exponentially. 78,000 for peak performance on this. That's a lot, dude. A lot of burns are coming in on this, and then you can see almost 2.1 million sold. 8 days left. This thing still. I mean, we were saying this thing could sell out. Sell out would be five if all 5 billion tokens were sold, which would be about $5 million. So it still has a long way to go before it could even get close to selling out. But the more this goes up in price, knowing that this goes towards the system to actually go out there and arbitrage and pull liquidity from exchanges, the more money will actually flow back into the project. Like, so I know people were like, well, I only want this to raise $1 million, or I only want to raise 2 million or 2 million or whatever it might be. Just realize that the more money that's raised during this process means that that's more money going into the arbitraging of exchanges to be able to bring the value back to the project itself. So it's kind of I get where it's coming from, but it's kind of crazy. Leverage trading is just for fun, in my opinion. Yeah, 100% Andrew B. Like I don't do leverage trading to like leverage trading. It's just basically like putting in draft pick. It's putting in a parlay. That's how I look at leverage trading. I don't take it to the levels of where I'm putting like I'm a James Wynn here. You know what I mean? Hey team, what's up, Mustang? Looking for potential best ETH high to parlay and additional XCL cent thoughts. You're talking to who met him, could be, and the person who met him in person could have been fooled by a robot looking like Austin. What do you say, Mustang? Something about a parlay. You putting in a parlay to get more? Are you putting in a more parlay to get more money to buy cents? Is that what you're telling me? But yeah, this is obviously one of the bigger pre-sales of this time right now, and to raise 2 million in this market is pretty crazy. A lot of people are coming in and buying up this chart, and Excel are still doing phenomenal, dude. Obviously, same team. They're adding fuel to XCL. XCL still doing really good even in this market right now, sitting at 3.474. I mean, so it's come down slightly since it peaked out on this little cycle about 4. So it's come down, but I mean, still up roughly almost 2.5%. So, or sorry, 250% up since launch. So you still can't deny that. Okay, I'm here. You repeat the last 45 minutes, please. What's up, Z-Goals? Good to see you, buddy. If you want a 200x, hold your ground and sell only a small amount. Yeah. I mean, you got to think it comes down to the holders of the project, right? If people want the project to be successful, it will be successful. If the project fails, then that's where the community sentiment is on the project. It's always been like that. There's nothing hiding that. And I do like that they put this in here. I read this earlier. It says past performance does not guarantee future results. I agree with that, dude. Like you can't look at past performance as a guarantee of future results, but it really comes down to holders and community, and the community is strong. So I do know that. I think we all know that. We're all AI organic bots. Sitting on 10K H bar 0.21, and I'm here for it, happily buying at it down. Yeah, as possible, hoping my Christmas bonus hits before the rally does. Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you, dude. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice before it all comes in here. Everyone in pre-sale hold while the retail FOMO and after it launches. Yeah, people will. If you hold, I mean, people will probably jump in. I mean, like I said, Acceler did a 35x. This thing went all the way up to 3 cents. Dude, it went to 3 cents. That's crazy. When you go back and look at this was a crazy 48 hours. I mean, we're talking. I mean, this thing went up 300 and yeah, I can't really see that. This thing went from it launched at what point zero one, right? 0.001 and went all the way up to yeah, almost a 30x. I'm probably a little bit off here, but yeah, about a 35x I think is where it hit, dude. And crazy to think about that. Yeah, looking for the next ETH high to move. Oh, I'm more for the ETH low because I think it's based off ETH, bro. So like, I was looking at this. So if you buy, so if we, like you go to, like if you go to join pre-sale, isn't it all based off ETH? So like, so if I buy ETH now, if I put one ETH in, am I getting it at a better price if ETH goes up, right? Like that's kind of what I was thinking. So like if ETH is lower and you buy, you're going to get the same amount for the same ETH, right? Because it's all based off ETH. So maybe I'm looking at that wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking wrong on that. Did you see that the Ford CEO said about China EV cars and how Ford can compete with them? I did see something along the line. I didn't read it, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. 752. What did it say? 750 people have bought into Cent pre-sale. Lots of big buys. I know, lots of big buys, dude. Crazy big buys. And you can see 32% of the token has been sold. So roughly 5 billion Cent for sale, and roughly 1.6 billion have been purchased so far, which is crazy to think. So 8 days left too. If ETH goes up, you get more for the same dollar value. Okay, yeah. So it works both ways, and it doesn't really matter at that point. Then, if it's ETH based, it doesn't really matter because one ETH is one ETH, right? So it shouldn't change. Pre-sale buying is for real mathematicians, for those who know statistical calculus and algebra, real talk. I mean, I prefer pre-sale over trying to jump in during a launch. Like that's my opinion. Maybe Coconut Grove. I need XRP to hit $50, dude. If it hits $50, that'd be wild, dude. XRP hits $50, crazy times. So you can see right here. Here's a couple more things I want to show here. You can see if BTC breaks below the true market means of 81K, traders will be looking at 100% fib retracement of an initial move. So 100% of the fib retracement would be 75K, which again, if you go back and look, that's about where it is. So if this comes back down to 75K, you've hit that value. So a lot of buys will probably come in if it actually goes down. And right now we're sitting, well below or well into this area at the 89. When this dipped down to 81, we were sitting at these areas right now. So when you go back and pull the fib on this, it's pretty crazy to look back at where the retracements are on this. But these are accumulation zones right here. I put this up earlier right here. This is accumulation zones based even off the Fibonacci's right now. And again, looking back at this, 2025 bear market could be over soon. I mean, when you go back and you look at the RSIs and where they go and where they hit, I mean, this channel is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So, I mean, I'm not saying that the bear market's over or that, how long this bear market goes, I don't know. But you can see that it's definitely getting closer and closer on the channel. So that is nice to see as well. Let's see here. 2026 is a fire horse. Short Ford. You think so? You're going to short Ford? Austin, do you put much thought into Jay Claver's domino theory? I don't put any thought into that, dude. I don't know. I don't know him all that well, but that just seems crazy, bro. I mean, I guess my question is like, he said, what did he say? Like 100 XRP is going to hit by the end of the year. So he's got roughly 15 days before, and he's going to say XRP is going to be over $100. So like, what happens to his credibility when, cause that's such a pie in the sky number. What happens to his credibility when that doesn't happen? I mean, people are still going to watch him, obviously, but I don't know the guy, but it just seems crazy. I hear that theory, and it just blows my mind. Yeah, I mean, yeah, anyone would hope that he's right, but I mean, I don't know. Kind of crazy. I don't even know who the guy is. I've never even searched him up. I just know that one person, no matter what people say, I hope Jake is correct. I thought something a math magician did the math. If wages went up equally to inflation since the early 1900s, minimum wage would be about $65. You think that's right? That's crazy. $65 for minimum wage. I mean, yeah. I mean, if everything, that would be hard as a small business owner for sure if you think about it like that. But I mean, if everything goes up like that, that'd mean that if that's the right number, then I'm down. I'm with it. But as a small business owner or a business owner itself, like just pay someone $65 an hour. You know, it's almost nearly impossible. Must know demand, take demand, devise the formula, test the formula. Yeah, exactly. You got to always test the formula. That's why this track your trades is good, dude. Create a formula and then test that formula, dude. Go out there and track the trades, see how it works out. Yeah. But yeah, basically what it comes down to for me here is looking at the where'd it go? Is that I think that we're actually going to be coming down just slightly here. The day chart hasn't fully corrected itself, so I'm anticipating that we could have, and these things could still go up in price. The day chart, this XRP could be a little bit finicky here. We could have a little rally here. This is probably the one where it just went past the 20% mark, and we rallied nicely out of this one. And that very well could happen right now, dude. I mean, that very well could happen. We could have a nice little rally out of that. That tends to happen on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and then Fridays it seems to dump. So that rally could happen right now. But the day chart's just kind of you can have these little blips right here. You see these little blips that happen before we have a little sell off. You could have these little blips. So, I mean, it very well could happen, but I'm just Bitcoin and Ethereum, definitely the day charts seem to come down. XRP is actually not too bad. HBAR is at the bottom. It's as low as you can go, dude. XLM coming down hot. Solana still coming down. So there's still some room to come down here. But overall, I mean, kind of flat. It's definitely in a buy zone. 4 chart looks bullish. You think so? Got my relay rewards. Can I deregister and re-register with the new full amount? I think so. I think you can do that. HBAR day chart is about the bottom still. It's hitting pretty far down. Market cap is still going strong. But all right, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. I've been on here for an hour. I got to get some things done for the day. I appreciate each and every one of you coming on here and talking crypto with me, hanging out with me. And Austin, what's the name of that lower chart? Oh, this is the RSI right here. This right here is called your RSI. So just go over here into the indicators. And then if you look at, I favorited it, but if you look over here, it's called the stochastic. I can never say it right. RSI. I just call it the RSI. It's just the RSI, but that's the one that's in there right there. Yeah, it's one of the best ones to use. I've used it for years. I think it's one of the better indicators out there. So see you later in the X space. Yeah, definitely go hit up that. If you're not going to be in that X space, go hit up this X space. You can see right here. XCL is going to represent, even though, like I said, I've never met the guy. I don't know who this is. I'm there. I'm down. Let's do it. So with all that, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here. Love you guys. And we're out. Peace out, everyone.